Are we okay? Yes. My name is Abass Bangura. How many of you are seeing me for the first time? Raise your hand up. If you're seeing me for the first time, raise your hand up. And it's always beautiful. You're seeing me for the first time. You're hearing about me for the first time. Again, not just meeting me, but this is the first time you're hearing about Abass Bangura. First time. Nobody. So you've all heard about me, right? Okay, cool. So, and if you've heard about me, then you've heard a bit of my story. When was that? In 1989? 1991, I was at the IPAM. A student like you in the small building over there, reading what we called Association of Accounting Technicians and the Technician Diploma in Accounting. I was at the IPAM. So if there had been a student union government at that point in time, I would have been the first student union leader, president. I would have been the first student union president in IPAM. So I know a bit about IPAM. The late Ibime Paka was the director then, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of stories about IPAM and my experience and stuff. But let's talk about MSME development in Sierra Leone. And I have as a subtitle the Startup Capital Myth. Is it possible to run a business without money? Is it possible to run a business without money? No. But is it possible to start a business without money? And that's the important question. I don't want you to miss. It's just one point I want to talk about. They were talking about capitalism without capital. He shared with me some of the notes of the stuff that you talked about in terms of the 4 big limitations that were there that inhibits startup, people from growing. And those 4 things, I don't know whether you still have them in your heads. What are the 4 things that he said were the major issues? Anybody still remember? There are 4 big blocks. The first one was what? Enabling environment. What's the second one? Technology. Tech. What's the third one? Access to finance. And what's the fourth one? Access to markets. Now, access to markets, there's something I have in terms of his notes where access to finance was a big one here, and also the skills was the fourth. The skills, lack of skills and capability, competence. It's all about skills. Access to people who could teach and train and coach. So this too is what I want to focus on. Access to finance and actually the area of skills and how you may not be able to control enabling environment. It's not you that will create the enabling environment. Who will create that environment? It's the government and its partners and stuff. It's beyond you. You cannot. The 2 things that I think you can be able to master now at this stage, even as you are in university here, is you can deal with this, you can deal with this. You can deal with this too. So, first question, can you start a business without capital? Can you start a business without capital? You're not sure? You're not sure? What's your name? Ishmael Cole? Ishmael Dumbuya. You say you can start, but what?
There are challenges on the way.
There are challenges on the way you can start. Can you start a business without capital? Let me change it. So somebody say no. You need capital to start business. You need capital to start business, yes or no? Yes. Those who say yes, raise your hands up. Put your hands down. Those who say you don't need capital to start a business, raise your hands up. You don't. Very few. So majority believes you need capital. Now, what we need to define is which kind of capital. Because that's where we get it wrong. Which kind of capital is the next question. When you talk about capital for business startups, the first thing that comes into mind is money. For startups, the first thing that comes into mind, but is money the only capital you need to start a business? Good. Is money the only capital you need to start a business? So let's list what's some of the other components of capital that you need to start a business. Fire.
Wealth.
Where? Wealth. What is wealth? Is it wealth money? I don't think wealth is correct. Expertise. This guy says expertise. You need expertise. You need to know what you want to do to the core. You need to know it. You want to set up a salon as a hairdresser, you need to know the dynamics. Expertise, yes. Skills. So expertise, I'll add skills there. You need skills, yes. What else? Location. You need a location. Sometimes, can you start without location? Now, when you're talking about location, are you talking about an office? Let's try again. What do you need to start? Now, what else? Expertise and skills. Move, next. Type of business that you want to run. So you could actually add knowledge there. Knowledge, ideas. What else? What else do you need to start? Feasibility study. You have to know expertise and skills. You have to do feasibility. You have to know the business. You have to study about the business. What else do you need? Do you need equipment to start? So maybe let's put assets and let's put question mark, because you need money to get this. If you don't have the asset, what do? That's why I say let's give this a question mark. Let's continue. What else would you need to be able to start a business? To start from day one. If you don't have assets, what do you say? You want to say something? You wanted to say, you need partners. Brilliant. You need partners. Yes? You need a business plan and feasibility. All of this comes around knowledge, ideas, feasibility. You have to have the plan. You have to have a business plan. To do the business plan, you have to have a feasibility. You have to know about the business. Yes, please, from the back there. That's where you study everything about the business plan. Who am I selling to? Your target customers. Your competition. Competition. Now, there are a lot of things. These are all the things that go into the business plan. Now, the point I'm trying to make here, whilst you need capital to start a business, you don't need money to start a business. And it's going to rattle a lot of people's mind. You're watching and you're listening to this, and a big question mark, because each time you talk about young people wanting to go into business, the first thing, what's the first problem they tell you that they have? I don't have the money. I don't have the money. And so, we would rattle your mind today and maybe move your face from the front, send it to the back, and bring it around so that we radically change the way young people think in this country, because you can't start a business without money. Now, to get the expertise doesn't require money. What do you have to do to get expertise in anything in this country? Anything you want to do. The last time I was here, I was talking to a lady who does ogiri. And she sells ogiri. She packages it and sells. And people were laughing, hey, ogiri, but she's paying her fees with it. What do you need to get expertise in anything? Give me an example of any skill, any trade you want to move into, and tell me whether you need to pay to get the expertise. Give me an example. Any example? Butterscotch is too low. Yes, butterscotch is one. But can you get the expertise from butterscotch selling without having money to make butterscotch? I'm asking you the question again. Would you need money to learn how to make butterscotch? What do you have to do? You need the skills. How do you get the skills if you don't have money? You go? How do you learn? Through friends. You go to somebody who's already doing it. Sit by them. Study. Be there in the morning till the night. Study with them. You could get expertise in skills and build skills without having money. You have to just show you're interested. You have to just show you're interested. Go to the place, sit down, watch, stay there. They say that footway we work up better pass you always sit down. I am better off 1,000 times. So somebody tells me, I haven't got a job, I've been trying, and I could check the number of times you move out every day, how many applications you've pushed out, you've moved out, and I'll know whether you're serious. If for a whole year you've only been to 5 offices, a whole year, 365 days, 5 offices, 10 applications, 5 for a whole year, you're not committed enough. So you can get the expertise you require, because there's something I'm going to talk about here. You can get the expertise you require without money. You agree with me? Yes. When young people tell you, I can't start because I don't have money, I'm saying it's not true. You don't have to have the money to start. You've already started listening. So let's move on with this. So the thing is, so that's why I said it's a startup capital myth. Once you need capital, it's not cash capital. It's not just money capital. There are a couple of other things that you have already. And what you can do is to start where you are. Can we read what you had there? Start where you are. 2, 3, go. Start where you are. Stop there. So let's say it again. Repeat it again. Say 2, 3, go. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Any one of us can start today where you are. There are a couple of stories in the Bible about the prophet going to this young woman and said, give me something to eat. She said, I have nothing in my house. He said, no, it's not true. You do have. Well, yes, I have just a piece of bread and oil, but that's the last one I have to make for my child, and then we will eat, and then we will die. He said, okay, that's the one you're going to use. Invest this, and it will be multiplied. Until the famine is over, you will never run out of oil. There's another story about Jesus, and so the guy said, he only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. He said, bring it to me. But he says, this is what we have. Because and go to the second point. You are never without anything. To say I don't get nothing, it's a lie. You're never without anything. You've not looked enough. Inside your host, in your skills, in your height. I've talked this about Aki and Popo jokingly all the time. Aki and Popo, starting off, they had nothing. You would look at them and say they are disadvantaged. And how did they use that disadvantage in terms of the limited vertical that they had? And that's what made them funny. That's what made them attractive. You are never not without anything. Can you say that again with me? You are never not without. Let me say it to yourself as you beat. I am never not without anything. Beat your chest as you say that. 2, 3, go. These are very strong points. You are never without anything. You are never not without anything. There's always something. Some ladies are beautiful. Okay, can be salesperson for me. It doesn't mean you sleep with everybody in the street, but no, there's an attractiveness that you have, and you sabi talk that makes even people no want for buy, then they buy. Use it. It doesn't mean you sleep with everybody in shelter. No, you don't. I've seen ladies that are masters. They know men. So they're able to play around men and know where to draw the line and tell you I'm professional, I'm doing a job, and have a way when it comes to the point to be able to say, dear, Namakita can't sell, not to myself, I can't sell, do you help me? There's a way you could do that, but you're never not without anything. To start, you're never not without anything. You're never not without anything. You always have something to start. And so the question they ask is, what's in your hands? You want to be an entrepreneur, what's in your hand? There are the things the government is doing, but where do you start? Because there's a point I have to make here. There's this guy, this lovely guy is a mentor of mine. What's this guy's name? Where is his surname? So he's Vusi Tembekwayo. Vusi Tembekwayo is a South African entrepreneur. Let's read what he said. This is powerful. If you need money to start, you're not an entrepreneur. And that's the point. It's not to grow, but to start. Because you could start where you are, with what you have, doing what you can. So what can I do? I can do this. Go do it. Because ultimately what you have to do is to do what you have to do now so that you get to do what you want to do. So he says that's what entrepreneurs do. If you need funding to be an entrepreneur, you're not an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs do one thing to pay for the other thing, so that they eventually get to do what they want to do. And I have stories, long stories. I started up Life by Design and just talking, knowing how to talk, I could present. I had nothing. I don't have cameras. I had nothing. I had no staff. It was just me and myself alone and my big mouth. That's all I had. And a brain and knowledge and experience that I had. So that's why what you have to start off with, you have skills. If you reach at the bottom here, you have what else is there? Talent. You have knowledge. You have energy. And you have time. The time where they sit down and watch Nigerian movies, it's the time you could spend building something that pays for where you want to go. So the lady downstairs, she's selling ogiri, she's cooking, packaging it, and bringing it. That's not what she wants to do for the rest of her life, but she's doing what she has to do now so that she could pay to do what she wants to do. Is anybody understand what I'm saying? Clap for yourself. Because if you just apply this, it will change your life. If you just apply this, it will change your life. You are never not without anything. You are never not without anything. I challenge you. You are never not without anything.
Yeah. Now we then. Yeah. Now we then Sami. Yeah. Now we then Lek. Yeah. The game don't big. Yeah. Take them all. Yeah. The cheapest data off on a salon from AfriRadio. Yeah? You want some? Take them. Dial *113#. Choose number 7 and get 1 gigabyte for just 10,000 euros and enjoy 30 days validity browsing. Yeah.
AfriRadio.
Yeah.
SIM couple allow old and young to make deposit and withdraw cash from their account at any time and anywhere. With Rokel Commercial Bank SIM couple, you can send and receive money at any place and any time. Rokel Commercial Bank don't make life better for we all.
You should always start from where you are, using what you have to do. Using what you have and doing what you can. Always, you never not. So Vusi say, money is important when you want to go, but to move from 0 to 1, you don't need money. You need the skills, you need the talent, you need knowledge, you need experience, you need energy, you need your time. You already have those. It's just what you decide to do with it. You have energy. I've seen guys work, students at IPAM, and I did it myself. I'll go to somebody's house. I had a guy, that guy's coming to town. Next weekend, he's coming to town. I became his house help. I cleaned their house, 81 Philip Street, Wellington. I would scrub the floors from front to back every weekend. I launder his clothes. I iron them. He had a motorbike, NB2195, blue Suzuki bike. I would shine that one. It seems like they just bought it from the manufacturers. Clean it. When it was time for me to go back to school, what he did, he paid my raise. 1,000 leons. My parents couldn't afford 1,000 leons at that point. He paid. So I did what I have, what I could at that point in time, using my time and using my energy. To move from 0 to 1, you don't need money. And that's where you are now. You're at point 0. Nobody believes you. Nobody knows you. No bank can give you money. You are point 0. You have to get to point 1 before people begin to take notice of you, to prove you can do it. And that's when other people can enter. That's when other people can help. You're talking about partners. That's when partners can come in. And that is when people with assets would say, okay, you need this asset. I like your idea. I would loan you the assets. Or I'll become a partner with you. I'll bring the assets into the business. You don't need money to start. You've listed it all. You need knowledge, you need ideas, you need the assets, you need partners. You could get all of this without money. From 0 to 1, you don't need money. There's this other guy. What's this guy's name? Denzel Washington. He's an actor, American actor. Read what he said. 2, 3, go. I said it just now. Read what he said. Go. I was talking about Life by Design. When we started, I had nothing. God is my witness. I had maybe 4 or 5 people who from Josephus Mama of blessed memory at SLBC to George Lewis, maybe 4 or 5 people who I would just take when it's time to shoot. I would sit down and say, shoot. Pastor Eamomo went to my house, we shot the phone. I had nothing at that point in time when we were starting off. I had nothing. I had my ideas. I went to, as I spoke, as I did these things, I have photos of me as a young man. I was playing accordion. This guy who I was helping in the house, the way he got to know me, was by me just playing accordion. I would play musical instruments. I was the best player of the accordion in my church. So he got to like me. And he says, okay, come to the house and start helping. So I did the accordion. Accordion moved me to cleaning the house, a privilege. Cleaning the house led to them giving me a room in the house. It was a kitchen room. My wife that I'm now married to used to visit me in that house, and we could have actually gotten our first daughter from that bedroom. Am I saying anything to anybody? But I use what I have, my musical skills. It was just music, music. Okay. Then somebody got to say, what are you doing? I always had people who say, you they play this thing well, oh. What do they do? I got the opportunity to explain to them. I used what I have, where I was, to get what I needed, to get to where I needed to get to. Does somebody understand what I'm saying today? Yes. Please, you're never not without anything. If we just re-echo some of the things we have just shared, it's brief, but it's so important. Can you start a business without capital? Yes or no? No, you need capital. It's just that it's not money capital that you need. So that's the question. So the next one we said, when we talk about capital, we talk about money. Is money the only capital you need to start a business? And then we listed these other capital that are there. And you can use this any day. From just accordion, from just sitting down and no camera, no nothing. I kept at it. AfriCell joined in as a partner. AfriCell said, we like what you're doing. I was doing a lot of work, good work for AfriCell. They said, okay, we'll support you to sponsor the show on television. Somebody employed me at Call to Business, the bank was just 5 full-time staff. ACTB, anybody knows ACTB Bank? The bank was just 5 full-time staff, less than 1,000 clients, and the office was at the back side of Babadori. Behind there was a guy called me, and he said, I want you to run this business for us. I never run a microfinance business before, ever in my life. Like I said, anything you want to learn to get the expertise, you can learn without even having to pay. People knew me, and I started asking, do you know anybody who don't run microfinance business before? I asked. Once I know the 4 major microfinance business, I got myself introduced to their managing directors. I use my social capital. Then that's another thing that is here, is social capital. Who knows you? Who have you done a kind deed to? Who don't like your business and like what you they do? Maybe it's a Manchester United. Maybe it's your Christian friends. It's your Muslim friends. You have social capital. You could leverage all of this from 0 to 1 without money. So step by step, I took the job at Call to Business, and I struggled, hired staff, build from the beginning. Till I stepped down as a managing director for the business 2-3 years ago. But having worked to build, hired the right people who had the skills that I did not have to work to move up, and so that it's now a microfinance bank. It's grown bigger than I would have ever imagined, than I ever had the capacity to be able to push. Launch leadership. But what happened? As I drove this guy, ACTB, the guy started getting interest in the things I was interested in. He saw the show on television, he saw what was happening, and said, we can help you grow this television business because they became a partner. You're already helping us with the bank. We can help you grow Life by Design. That's how we got the first set of cameras. We got a computer, and we got all the initial gadgets. And that's where we took up. The next input they made was $50,000. More equipment. Now, Life by Design is an integrated marketing company. It's an integrated marketing company. Industrial scale printing press, marketing online, offline, audio visual, branding, websites, SME body shop. We recently had a partnership signed with Inky Media, which has just doubled and multiplied our capacity to be able to deliver. Starting with just using what I have, my big mouth, and my knowledge and my experience that I had, tell my stories. The annual revenue is around the range of $500,000 a year, and we're targeting to do $2 million revenue a year by 31st of July 2022. How do you build this thing that started just as an idea to a $2 million revenue business by December 2022? We're recording this and we're going to keep it in the archives. December 2022, we want to raise this business. And it will not just be money to do that. There are lots of stuff I have to do there, through partnerships, through that, through expertise, through skills, through knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Because these are the things that have to come first before the money comes. From 0 to 1, you don't need money. Now, this is why part of the training stuff, there's a flyer here, Life by Design, Skills Development Fund short courses, 18 to 35 years of age, you must be within this age. We're doing the ultimate entrepreneurship, sales and marketing electives, and then customer experience management as elective for 6 months. It's out now. The closing date for all application is 29th May 2021. End of this month, end of next week, that is when is the closing date. This program is funded by the government of Sierra Leone and the World Bank. And our partners here, so it's a skills development fund. The secretariat is housed in the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. They are running it on behalf of the government. They are the government's hand that's pushing it. Our partners, AfriRadio, AYV Media, and RC Bank, Local Commercial Bank. Now, so what I want to be able to do is to tell you, if you think you have the fire in your belly, that to change the world, to not be begging, for ladies not to be slaves in the hands of men who are only able to push you around because inside they left you and they meet you. If you want to have your destiny in your hands, the best way I know is an entrepreneurial mindset. Not just going into business, but just having the mindset where you can add value, you can grow from 0 to 1. You know, I can get from 0 to 1. I can apply what I have now to get to where I want to get to. So please, it's not just those in the class, but those of you in television, on radio, wherever you're watching this, the Life by Design number to contact is 030-600-600. A major part of the course is covered by the government. If you think you have the fire in your belly, apply. 030-600-600 is the number to call to get further details. The application form is online. The link is there. If you look at the flyers, I think your lecturer shared this flyer. Your Mr. William Conte shared this flyer. The code is there. Enter it online, and the form would appear, and download it. Send your questions. I will know you're serious. info@lbd.sl, info@lbd.sl. That's the email address. Facebook page, lbd.sl. If you go Facebook, it's Facebook lbd.sl at Facebook. If you go Facebook, it's lbd.sl. And the number is 030-600-600. 030-600-600. This is a teaser. And as often as Mr. William Conte wants me, we can make some time so that I can just break some of these things down so that you are helped. People help me, and I want to be able to help as much people as I can. Put your hands together for your lecture again, for the class. Make it big and make it louder for him. Make it bigger for him.